And I quickly wrote to the people that I consider my team in my life, and one of them being Mr. Craig Valentine. And he was my coach. And so I wrote to him and I said, hey, Craig, I'm out. I can't speak. I can't coach. And he wrote to me in bold, capital letters, underlined with these little quotations around it. And it read, you cannot give up your business, but you do have to do it differently. You do not give up your business, you do it differently. And as soon as I opened my mind to that, as soon as I got some support from friends and family and re-looked at that business plan, I started learning about sharing my message in a different way. One of my friends said to me, Sarah, your message doesn't come from your voice, it comes from your heart and your head. And so I started sharing my message by writing, and not very well, I'm afraid, by writing. I started having my clients send me their speaking videos, and I would give them evaluation and critique them, sending them back suggestions and guidelines of what they could do differently. I continued my business. I grew my business by looking at it differently. I promised you today that you would pick up the 3 foundational facts that I learned through this journey from 1988 to where I am now. And that's exactly what you're going to hear. You see, in review, Wedding Dreams, there was 3 tough truths that I learned. One is, my business plan was too simple. My second was, you know what, it was a lot of fun, but I forgot about making money. And the third is that because I didn't have a vision, my passion wasn't there. Looking at the tough truths with what Lucy's Playpen, my business plan was so tight that I didn't know how to move it. I didn't know how to rework it because I thought if A didn't go to B, you'd never get to C. My second is that when you build, you have to remember to let some of it go. And the third piece I learned from Lucy's Playpen is that you can't do it alone. I wore a mask and I didn't let anyone in to what was really going on. I pretended everything was okay. The great part is that in my triumph, the Spoken Advantage, I had a fluid, fun, great business plan that adapted to the changes I needed. I built what was working and I dropped what wasn't. And thirdly, I lived by these foundation facts you're about to hear. Fact number 1. Actually, I have to give you a little lead into this one. I'm going to say some names to you. Just nod your head if you can picture who I'm talking about. Mr. Craig Valentine, Darren LaCroix, Ed Tate, Jeremy Tracy.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. What do these guys have in common?
They're bald.
They are so bald.
Pardon?
And if you don't believe me, Gregory Smith, Darren LaCroix, Craig Valentine. Who do we have here? Mark Hunter. Oh, and that guy.
That's some strength.
Ooh, we're close, Justin. We're close. So yes, they're all bald. So when I was in my deepest moment, when I had my illness and I was thinking, oh my gosh, how can these guys make it successful and why can't I? If you can't beat them, what's that saying? Join them. So I went to one of those places to see what I would look like.
Oh.
Yeah, that would not have been my best business decision ever. Luckily, I dug even deeper to find out what is it that these guys have in common. What is it that makes them successful? Because there's got to be something. And I figured it out. They did go bald. The first thing that these guys all had, and what I consider all professional speakers have, I'm sure we'll hear from Nina about this as well, is that you have to be a believer. You have to believe in your message, because if you don't believe in it, your audience definitely will not. You have to have that belief inside. The second thing that all these speakers had, the B for belief, the A is you have to be authentic. If you are not the same person that you're on the stage, that you are off the stage, then you are called an actor, not a professional speaker. B-A-L. You have to be a learner. This is what a beautiful think tank really is that we're all here to learn and continue to grow as speakers. Craig Valentine talks about every time he's on a plane, he has a book in his hand and he's reading that thing. Continues to learn. And the last one, and the most important one of all, is you have to be a dreamer. Why is Spoken Advantage still here? Because I still have dreaming to do. So let me